And then we'll throw a light switch rave. Yeah. Although my light switch currently doesn't affect the light. I just got the fan on and the lamp over there. So I can't really throw a light switch rave at the moment. Sucks to be you, the cheat. Anyway, that's 30 seconds. Let's see. More random Homestar Runner references. What more do they want? Oh, dude, if we were Teen Girl Squad, who would be the ugly one?
Probably me.
Oh,
That's terrible.
Love you, Dirk. Have we not been uplifting him lately?
Well, someone has to take it. So-and-so. What's her face? I would also like to point out that on the last episode, the ugly one actually becomes the prettiest one.
Spoilers.
I mean, nothing. These are not the droids you're looking for.
All right, let's get ready to look so good. Meaning we're going to start the show now. Here we go. I almost hit stop recording. What in... Oh my god. Move the mouse. Move the mouse. Okay, here we go. For real this time. Ow, jam. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mana Pool. This is, let me think, episode 709. Is that something? 709? There's 409. That's all I got. So I guess 709 isn't a thing.
no.
Yeah. This is episode 709 of the Mana Pool. I am Chewie. 7 of 9. Ah! Maybe that's what I was thinking.
There you go.
What was her name? Jerry?
7 zeros for 9 mana.
Jerry Ryan? Was that 7 of 9?
Jerry Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Jerry Ryan.
Anyway, I am Chewie, and my favorite commander is Picard. But I have these other dorks here.
Hey, I'm Brian. I'm the lead Rambler Tangent Master of the group. And I never saw Star Trek, so my favorite commander is probably...
Like the Magic format?
Sure. I was trying to do something creative, and dag nabbit, I am falling down hard. So, my favorite commander is literally every main character in the original trilogy of Star Wars that somehow was a general in the last movie. They're like, you're a general, and you're a general, and you're a general. And they're like, I don't even know what that title means. Congratulations, you're a general. So, haha.
Well, you see, it's a very general title as opposed to you're specific. That was terrible.
Wow. I'm a dad. I tell dad jokes all the time.
Mike, say something quick. Save me.
All right. I'm
Yours
Mike. I'm
only
the
hope.
rules guy and the game lore guy. And I guess if we're still talking about Star Trek, I guess my favorite would also be Picard. But I feel like when DS9 was airing, I was just too young to like understand it or like have the attention span to sit down with it. So if I went back and rewatched it, I wouldn't be surprised if Cisco became my favorite instead.
I bet that's what Dirk says.
Cisco is a good choice. And I'm Dirk, the self-proclaimed greenest man alive and moral compass of the group. And I do wish that I watched more of Strange New Worlds and a little bit more Discovery. I'm about halfway through Discovery before the Paramount Plus subscription ran out. of the old school ones, as much as Kirk would be it would be an obvious choice and everything. Eh, I kind of like the moral character of Cisco.
Told you.
He is a very three-dimensional character, and not I'm here to run the show and trying to bag all the women.
Told you.
Like, he goes through a lot of moral conundrums and has to deal with that. So I would say Cisco. Although, if I had to say, I would say John Sheridan would be one of my favorite captains/commanders.
Now you're just making people up.
Nah, he's Babylon 5 reference. So.
Oh, okay.
He's not a Star Trek one. He's a Babylon 5 one.
It's probably better that way.
Yeah, once again, very three-dimensional character.
Written by J. Michael Straczynski. So that's always good. So, all right. That's us. What we're doing, we're talking mashups this week for some reason. Both of these things are completely independent of each other, but they're both mashups.
Are they monster mashups? See, I can still tell a bad joke. I can tell a bad joke.
It was hanging. It was low-hanging fruit, and I chose to take the high road on that.
I did not.
He did not.
I mean, it could be. I hear that that was a graveyard smash when it came around. So
I heard that again for the first time in years just yesterday, because Ashley decided to put on a little Halloween Essentials playlist while she was doing digging out some decorations and looking at some stuff, and that was the first song that played. I was like, oh, wow.
But Goldie.
See, I know it from so long ago. I knew it as the Transylvania Twist.
Wow.
So please continue.
Our first mashup, New York Comic Con, right? Just happened or is happening or something? I don't know.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Nor do I keep track anymore. I don't pay attention. But at New York Comic Con, which either happened or is happening. I think it happened past tense, and this weekend is Vegas, because everybody is in Vegas as far as Magic goes. But anyway, they showed off the first of the Marvel things for Magic. And it was, of course, a bunch of secret layers, because of course it is. And I figured we might as well talk about them, because people will probably be like, hey, when are you guys going to talk about the Marvel cards? If we didn't. So here we are. And have any of you looked at any of these?
I saw
a couple on Facebook.
All right, and Dirk is MIA. So yeah, I've read one of them. I didn't even realize until I asked the Discord, hey, is there a place where all of the Marvel stuff is gathered? And I got a link to this announcement article, and I didn't even realize that the only new cards were the actual heroes. I was like, oh. Because I thought this would be like a long segment. Luckily, it won't be. So let's get it up on the screen. There we go. So the first thing we have here is Earth's Mightiest Emblem, which is just Arcane Signet. And calling the Avengers logo Earth's Mightiest Emblem actually makes me want to punch somebody.
Yeah, it's kind of silly.
Yeah. Also, the word emblem means something in Magic, so that...
Yeah.
That
I
bothers me
had
twice.
that thought. I was like, oh, it's
Yeah. Also, apparently you'll get one Earth's Mightiest Emblem with each $200 you spend. Sorry, $199 you spend on Marvel Super Drop products. So
What?
yeah, I would like a reprint of an Arcane Signet for $200, and then bite me. So let's just get down to the first thing here. So, who wants to read Black Panthers? Anybody seen Black Panther before?
I saw the movie, but I haven't seen the card.
Okay, why don't you read the card then?
All right. So the card is Black Panther, Wakandan King, and I'm actually doing the Wakanda Forever. You just can't see it. He's not a cat. That's disappointing. But for a green and a white, he is a 2/2 legendary creature, human noble hero.
Hero's a new thing.
He has so much text. This is tiny. I also like you see the Dora Milaje in the picture because they are really essential to the film. I like them a lot. But he has First Strike. He has Survey the Realm. Ability word: whenever Black Panther or another creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target land you control. Yes! At long last. Now my Manlands deck is complete. Mine Vibranium. Another ability word: pay 3 mana. Move all +1/+1 counters from target land you control onto target creature. If one or more +1/+1 counters are moved this way, you gain that much life and draw a card.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool. And I have a sudden thought of like, there's so many lands out there. If you just wanted to keep this going, you could move them from one land onto a manland that's activated.
Yeah.
And gain that much life, draw a card, and they're still on a land that you could activate the ability again or next turn or whenever. So yeah, and to say nothing of the more straightforward application of you're building up these counters on a land or various lands or whatever. You're building up vibranium, and then you're harvesting the vibranium.
Yeah.
And all this on a 2/2 for 2 with First Strike. He's not a cat.
Well,
I like it.
He's not a cat.
It's cool.
So.
It's cool. And it's not something that we've seen like done to death. Like I see the image in my head of what this is representing, but it's done in kind of a clever way. So I have come to the conclusion, and I'm sure we'll get back to this because we talked about this with the Lord of the Rings. We talked about this with the Dungeons and Dragons set. I feel like Magic is almost at its most creative these days with other IPs. And that makes me both happy and sad at the same time. Happy because we still see a lot of ingenuity and creativity, and sad because
other people are the ones giving Magic that creative spark.
Yeah. But hey, Black Panther's cool. I like him.
Yeah, I fully agree.
Well, with the other IPs, especially with these small secret layer things, they're freer to do an odd little one-off design that wouldn't really fit anywhere. Like if you would put all that text on a card in Duskmourn, we'd just be like, what? Why is this here?
Yeah. Like, to put something like this, I think actually having it in a secret layer, as much as I despise secret layers and their FOMO marketing, having it in a secret layer and not tied to a set means they don't have to print anything around this to try to support it or make it viable. Like, at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't have to go with anything. Nothing has to go with it. They can just release it into the wild and people have fun with it.
Yeah, the way Commander used to be. And then the other cards in the set here, we got Secure the Wastes, which works really well with Black Panther because it, create X warriors. Bast's Blessing. What does that say? Primal Vigor. So Primal Vigor is an enchantment that doubles. It's not quite a doubling season. It doubles the amount of tokens that you would create. Tokens, not token creatures. That's important.
Yeah, tokens.
And if it doubles the amount of +1/+1 counters that would be put on a creature. So
not any kind of counter.
Yeah. But it works really well with Mind Vibranium on Black Panther. So there's Heroic Intervention. Who is that? Oh, it's Claw. Oh, it's Black Panther hitting Claw or kicking Claw. That's nice. I love that his archenemy is such a stupid ass dude. Like Claw is like, I'm made of sound. Okay. Like, Karn's Bastion is rebranded as Wakandan Skyscraper, which lets you proliferate. That's cool. And then there's a warrior token that is a Wakandan warrior. Nice and simple and clean. Oh, that's later. Yeah. Sorry.
Getting ahead of yourself.
See, who did the art for Black Panther? Tyler Jacobson. Nice. I can't believe Claw is on a is on a Magic card. What the hell, dude? That's silly. All right, so we good on Black Panther?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on then.
Indeed.
We've got Captain America. This is the only one that I've read. Is there anyone that hasn't read Captain America yet?
I'll do it.
Yeah.
All right, Captain America, First Avenger. All copyrights reserved for. So, Captain America, First Avenger is red, white, and blue.
Of course he is.
But
didn't see that coming, did we? He's a 4/4 human soldier hero. And he has the ability Throw. ... And for 3, unattach an equipment from Captain America. He deals damage equal to that equipment's mana value divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 targets. Because his shield goes glank, 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 and then comes back to him.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this.
It detaches and it doesn't come back, but
well, I don't know if you know this, but when Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who chose to oppose his shield must yield.
I think I actually have heard that.
Oh. And yeah, okay, I was about to ask this. Chifuji pointed out that his mana pips are not in the normal order. They actually reordered them so that he was red, white, and blue instead of blue, white, red. Sorry, white, blue, red. That's adorable. Okay, sorry, he's got another ability. My bad.
White, blue, red, then that would actually be the Russian flag.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Check the current Russian flag. I'm pretty sure it's white, blue, red. Top to bottom.
I don't know. I'll go look it up.
All right. Well, he has a second ability. So throw ... And then there's ... catch. At the beginning of combat on your turn, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to Captain America.
Yeah.
So he throws it, it deals damage, and then when it's your turn again, it does come back. Boomerang, you came back.
I understand that reference.
I don't, weirdly.
It's an Avatar: The Last Airbender reference.
Oh, it is. Okay, yeah.
And I just got to pull a Captain America quote. So, haha. I was totally doing that scene where he did that.
So
What were they talking
there
about?
was
They were
a
talking
double
about
quote
like the
going
Wizard of
on
Oz.
there.
Yeah.
Lord.
Not quite a double entendre.
Yeah, so he's a 4/4 for 3, but it's 3 different colors, so that's fine. You remember Hairless Thoktar?
Yeah.
Wasn't he a 5/4 for
Hairless
3?
Doctor?
What?
What?
Woolly Thoktar.
Woolly Thoktar.
Woolly
Hairless Thoktar.
Like the opposite of hairless. It's
Hairless
very
Thoktar
hair-
was Will Blanks' Twitter handle, wasn't it? My bad. So, if anyone listening to this knows Will, please tell him hi. Jesus. I don't even remember what point I was making. Somebody else talk about stuff. Jesus Christ.
Something about being a 4/4 for 3 and comparing it to
Yeah.
other things that just cost 3.
There we go. But I do love the flavor of his equipment throwing. And they make some fairly large and heavy and expensive equipments so for him to toss, which is pretty cool considering he can equip stuff for free and then throw it at instant speed. Like that doesn't say, only during your main phase. So you can, beginning of combat on your turn, attach something to him for free and then immediately chuck it at things.
Yeah.
Like attack with him and then throw things so they can't block or don't want to block or whatever. Like I like it.
Yeah.
All right, so somebody else give us a quick rundown of his other cards like I did for Black Panther.
There's
So-
Captain America's Aid, which is, what is it? I can't read what the original card was called, but for one,
Sigarda's Aid.
okay. So for one, you may cast aura and equipment spells as though they had flash. When equipments you control enter, you may attach it to target creature you control.
So you can instant speed out a shield for him.
Equipment.
Mhm.
Speaking of which, the most notable one is the Shield of War and Peace, which is actually a cover of Sword of War and Peace, which does all kinds of fun things.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Well, he is a soldier. And then Flawless Maneuver, and the other card is In the Trenches, which I don't know if I've seen this one.
In the
So-
Trenches was just in Brothers War. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
but you can go ahead and talk about it if you want.
So for 1 and 2 white, enchantment, creatures you control get +1/+1. For 5 and a white, exile target non-land permanent you don't control don't control until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery and only once.
So it's an anthem that has an optional like O-ring.
O-ring, yeah.
Yeah.
Attached
You don't have
to
to
it.
sack it for that effect. So,
Yeah.
In the Trenches is really good. I don't know how much Mike has seen it on Arena, but I feel like I see it. Not as much as I used to, but it's still a decent amount.
And I love the art on In the Trenches because it's got Bucky, because it's from World War II, and it's got Bucky and Namor the Submariner and the Human Torch and Toro, who nobody remembers.
I got confused when I saw Human Torch on there because that feels like a couple decades too early for him, but
No, the
Maybe
original
that's-
Human Torch is an android, and he fought in World War II.
Hmm.
Yeah, the Johnny
Those
Storm Human
were
Torch is a
words.
completely separate character.
So it's not a Chris Evans callback.
It is not Chris Evans and a Chris Evans callback. We'll leave that for that movie. But I do like that they have Toro in the background there because, like, have any of you ever even heard of Toro?
I don't know what I don't know what you're trying to tell me.
The other
The answer is
Torch, the one next to Namor, is
Right.
not the Human Torch. It's Toro, who was like the Human Torch's sidekick or something back then. I don't actually know who the hell he is. I just know who, like,
Oh,
I don't know his story. I just know who that character is.
I don't know. If it was a comic book written in the 40s and 50s, who knows? They just had sidekicks.
I mean, accurate.
Wow, Mike,
Oddly
that
enough,
sounds really
I first
ageist
encountered
of you.
Toro in an issue of Avengers West, when Immortus was summoning up what was his group of dead villains called? Legion of
Grateful
the Undead
Dead?
or something.
Oh.
And the Avengers West Coast were fighting against these guys. Like Wonder Man was fighting against the Grim Reaper, his brother, and Hawkeye was fighting against the Swordsman, his old mentor, and I think Wasp. I can't remember if it was Wasp or not. Somebody was fighting against who they thought was a reactivated android Human Torch. And he just kept getting more and more angry. And finally he's like, "Stop calling me Torch! I'm Toro!" And he hit her in the face with a fireball. And I was like, what the hell is Toro? And this was before the internet. So I just had to, okay. And then much later, I encountered something talking about, the invaders, who were like the Avengers from World War II. I was like, oh. Anyway, and we've got the Falcon Captain America in Captain America's Aid, which is pretty cool. Who's that on Flawless Maneuver? Is that pre-Captain America Falcon and I guess Black Widow?
That's who it looks like.
Oh, I would say so.
Digging it. So yeah, I do like that everything seems to work together here.
Mm-hmm.
Plus,
I agree.
like Black Panther got heroic intervention as its combat trick to make things indestructible, which, yeah, that makes sense for Black Panther. But Captain America, because he's a tactician, gets flawless maneuver. Oh.
I feel like Captain America doesn't always get the appreciation for how smart he is. I think I heard either on a podcast, on a web video, or something, because I don't actually read comics. Not that I'm too good for them. I just don't really ever take the time. That when he throws his shield, it's not a quality of the vibranium. The vibranium, of course, allows the continuous motion because it, breaks the laws of physics. But he's actually in his head when he throws it. He's mentally doing the math for the angles so that it ends up back with him, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So,
It's pretty great.
so stay in school, kids.
Oh, also, it says what the card is right under each art. I just now saw that.
You just saw that?
Yeah, so when Dirk was like, I can't read it, I actually leaned forward to look rather than just look right under the cards. Anyway, we'll be all right. So anything else with Cap?
Not with Cap.
Okay. All right, next up we've got Iron Pants. I mean Iron Man. Iron Guy. Iron Fellow.
Iron Lad?
Iron Lad. Who wants to read Iron Pants?
Metal Man. I'll read it. Iron
Guts
Man. Titan of Innovation. For 3 blue and red, a legendary artifact creature, human hero, who is a 4/4.
He's an
So 4/4
artifact
for 5.
creature human hero.
Yep, artifact creature, human hero.
That makes my head hurt in multiple ways.
So a 4/4 for 5 with flying and haste. Sounds pretty good. Iron Man is also a genius industrialist. And that means whenever Iron Man attacks, create a treasure token. Then you may sacrifice a non-creature artifact. If you do, search your library for an artifact card with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrificed artifact's mana value. Put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So when Iron Man attacks, you get to do a little artifact birthing pod thing, and at the very least, it gives you a little treasure that you can use to start the chain if you really don't have anything else going on.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
It's a good balancing factor that you have to sacrifice a non-creature artifact to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important.
But you can search up a creature artifact if you want.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. Chifuji said he has that thing in his chest keeping him alive, so artifact creature? Yeah, all right. Plus the armor.
Okay.
You know, there's that. All right. So how about his cards? I do like that his treasure is apparently just his metal faceplate.
Yeah, this faceplate. So yeah, there's a nice little treasure token. The rest of these, they didn't even give them, like Chewie said earlier, can't remember if that was part of the recording, they just have their regular names. So we have Galvanic Blast. So you either shock something, or if you have Metalcraft, it deals 4 damage. There's Commander's Plate. That's an equipment that just costs 1. The equipped creature gets +3/+3 and protection from each color that's not in your commander's color identity. You can equip it for 5, but you can equip it to a commander for just 3. So that's cool.
I like the flavor text on that too. Armor changes, but Iron Man endures.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and it's an older model or a different model armor in this art than some of the others.
And he's got a bunch of his Iron Legion or whatever they're called. I forget. In the art for Galvanic Blast.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it does more damage if you have more artifacts. In this case means if he's got other drone units there to also zap something.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it.
Cool. And there's a soul ring. In the art, it's concepted as an arc reactor. That's cool.
It seems like that should have gotten like an arc reactor
The name.
name. Yeah. Like, did they not want to do it because it's Soul Ring and that's so iconic?
I think so.
That's dumb. That should be, that one should have gotten a name.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
And then it has an Inventor's Fair. Fancy Inventor's Fair. That's cool.
Yeah, which is
It's
the
a legendary
Stark Expo.
land that you can... yeah, it's a legendary land you can tutor up an artifact.
Originally from
With ability.
Kaladesh, right?
I think so.
Yes,
Yeah.
originally from Kaladesh. Mm-hmm.
Isn't that where stuff was happening in Kaladesh? Was that the Adventures Fair?
Yeah, that's where the
Yes.
main action of the story
Yeah.
took place.
But yeah, it's the Stark Expo, like from the movie. I wonder if Justin Hammer's in there doing a really stupid little dance.
Mm.
I love that guy.
He's great. You
Who-
need somebody that you want to punch in the face.
Who's? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I meant the actor. Whose
Mark
name has
Hamill.
completely just fallen out of my brain. What is his name?
Is it
Rockwell.
Mark Hammer?
Sam Rockwell. Is that
never mind.
Sam
Rockwell. Yeah.
Rockwell? Yeah, there we go. I love Sam Rockwell. He's always good all the time, even in just the worst movies. And in lots of movies, he dances. Like, real talk, if you want to watch a very endearing little, like, coming of age drama,
Yeah.
I highly, highly recommend The Way, Way Back, which has Sam Rockwell and Maya Rudolph, of all people, in it. And Steve Carell, but I didn't even recognize Steve Carell because he's not being Steve Carell. Like, the first time I saw that, I was a good 20 minutes into the movie before I went, hold up. Is that Steve Carell playing that massive douchebag? That's amazing. Anyway, it's a very endearing little movie that I recommend to anybody whenever I get a chance. So there we go. I've shoehorned it in.
Nice.
All right. So there's what, 2 left? Yeah.
Yes.
So this one is Storm. Hi, Storm. I just realized Storm has like 5 different outfits on these 5 cards. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't taken a legendary creature yet.
Yeah, but I'm reading Wolverine, so someone else read Storm.
Storm, Force of Nature. She's a teamer creature, if you remember Tarkir. For 1, a green, a blue, and a red. Which, yeah, those colors, that feels appropriate.
It does, doesn't it?
She's a legendary mutant hero. She's a 3/4 for 4 with flying, because of course she does,
Yep.
and vigilance. She has Ceaseless Tempest, which is wow. Whenever Storm deals combat damage to a player, the next instant. This is what happens when I read it in real time.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
next-
did Brian just like get booted off, or is he in shock?
The next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn has Storm. If you remember when we were reading the previews for Bloomborough and we got to the Rouse Eric, we were all like, that's crazy. And, they did it safely. Putting Storm on a limit break on a planeswalker that they can kill, yeah, that's great. Oh, Storm is just like the mechanic Storm is so inherently dangerous that whenever you see it, you're just like, you pucker up a little bit. Your lips, of course, is what I mean.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pucker up
But
with
yeah.
your lips a little bit, and then you kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah, pretty much. So Storm as a card, 3/4 with flying for 4, with vigilance, already very good stats for an evasive creature, and then the opponent has to be like, oh god, I can't let that thing hit me. The interesting thing, though, is it does require a little bit of setup, because when you get that triggered ability, the next instant or sorcery you cast this turn has Storm, which means you cannot then turn around and be like, all right, now I'm going to cast an instant or sorcery, and I'm going to like get a huge chain off of this if you haven't already set it up prior to combat.
Yeah.
So if you're not sure that you're going to hit or not, that's kind of a gamble.
Yeah, unless you've
Do
got a
you
handful
think-
of cheap creatures and artifacts or something.
That's true. That is true.
Like,
But
here's a
this
1-drop
deck-
and a 2-drop and a 2-drop, and that gets me 4 copies of this. Blah.
Yeah. But but then to trigger her ability, you want to make sure you have enough instants and sorceries in your deck. So you got to time this pretty well, and
Yeah.
you have to hit them. But the threat of it is just
Yeah.
beautiful.
What I like is it balances itself, because like you just pointed out, you've got to do most likely all of your setup beforehand, which means you can't, ramp up a lot of mana, Seething Storm and Metamorphose and all that,
Yeah.
because then you're going to combat and you're going to lose all those unless you've put, appropriate things in your deck that stop that from happening. But then everything
Yeah.
that you do before combat, if she doesn't hit, was essentially wasted.
Yeah.
So it balances itself out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I
I
agree.
would like to point out, you don't need a one-shot, brain freeze you out kill if you can do this, multiple times.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh,
dude.
rules question for Mike.
Okay.
You attack with Storm and Fear of Missing Out. Fear of Missing Out's ability triggers if you have Delirium. So you have 2 combat phases. You
Okay.
hit with Storm once, then you hit with Storm again. Do multiple instances of Storm stack?
Yes.
The
Oh, yes. Because it's a
Oh.
triggered ability, so having more than one of them will have big. Yeah, they'll both matter.
Yeah, my first thought was actually just give her double strike, which seems to be a lot easier than what Brian is doing. But
I thought a creature with that activated ability versus like actually casting Relentless Assault, because then there's your instant or sorcery. Although then you get, and she has Vigilance. But I was trying to work off of a creature, so. But yeah. Lots of
yeah.
interesting stuff here with Storm.
Like what?
Like her whole ability and how it works with instants and sorceries.
Oh, I
You
thought
mean the
you were.
other cards that?
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the
Oh,
other
okay.
cards.
No, so we've got the always classic Lightning Bolt. I mean, the definitive direct damage spell.
Also, the definitive thing what Storm does in video games.
It's true. Do you know what happens to a creature when it's struck by lightning?
They take 3 damage.
Yes. The same as anything else that's hit by a lightning bolt. Supposedly that line actually was going to be delivered in a very quirky Bryan Singer-esque way, and she just kind of said it. So, eh. It
So
lives in meme history.
so wonderfully cheesy. I do love that it's 80s Mohawk Storm here in the Lightning Bolt art. That's pretty baller.
You have Storm's Will, which is a reprint of Jessica's Will. You have Ice Storm, which is a good old-fashioned green Stone Rain, just taking it back. And
Yeah,
then
and when he says old fashioned, he really means old fashioned. This is Alpha Beta Unlimited. It didn't even get
oh yeah,
reprinted and revised.
Yeah.
oh yeah. I know I've seen Ice Storm. I've never seen the card in person, but I've seen the images of it. Um, and I do like the variation here. They could have made it. They could have reprinted Stone Rain here, and it's just her like hurling a mountain or something if she picks it up in a tornado. But she's she's the master of weather, not just lightning, not just wind. So Ice Storm here feels so appropriate. And then you have Aurora Borealis, which is a reprint of Metamorphose, the classic storm mechanic enabler. So yeah, and the art on all these is fantastic. It's great. I have never gotten a secret layer drop, but dang if I'm not tempted with Storm.
Chifuji pointed out Ice Storm has never been reprinted until now. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't remember it ever being reprinted, but that doesn't mean anything. That's pretty neat. I also like that Ice Storm is her classic 90s outfit. And behind her, you can see classic 90s Colossus and Jean Grey and... What else am I looking? Whoa! Didn't mean to zoom in that far. Oh, Bishop and Iceman and Archangel. Holy crap! Bishop is on a freaking Magic card, y'all.
Wait, Bishop. This is too small. I can't see this.
Oh, if you control and then like I think is it page up? No. Well, control and mouse wheel is zoom on Chrome.
Yeah, but my mouse wheel is worn out. It doesn't work right.
Yeah, I can see Jean Grey.
I think I see Gambit in there.
Oh well, you were wrong
That's too
because
small. I
I've
don't
zoomed
know
in
what
very
you got.
far. It's. Oh, there's Forge. I didn't even see him. So from left to right, it goes Forge, Jean Grey, Colossus, Iceman, Bishop, Archangel.
Oh,
Wait.
You can look at the stream if you like. I've zoomed in. Oh,
Well, that's what I was doing.
yeah, I've zoomed in there. Although I think if Mike opens the stream, we'll probably lose him.
yeah, I might have problems.
My favorite is the Storm Force of Nature because that's her ultimate X-Men costume.
Storm what? That's
The-
her ultimate
Her
what?
actual card.
Creature card.
Sorry, I asked the wrong question. That's her what?
Her ultimate X-Men costume.
Oh, okay. I never read any Ultimate X-Men, so
And I think Aurora Borealis, that's X-Men Evolution.
could be. It's a very distinct outfit. I just don't know what
Yeah,
it's
'cause I
from.
want to say that was the style with X-Men Evolution, as it was they went in a different, more kind of cartoony look, while still keeping the edginess of the show. or
Wait,
of
for
the
that cartoon?
series. Yeah. Wait, cartoony for the cartoon, yes.
So yeah, Storm's steel is good here. I do object to putting Ice Storm in here for the sole reason that she gives spells Storm, and that's a dick move. But you know, other than that, so all right. Then we've got. Oh, I don't even get to make the joke. It's on the card. I'm like, then we get the best there is, but that's actually the name of his. I didn't know that. So Wolverine, the best there is. For one, a red and a green. That makes sense. He's a 2/2 legendary creature, mutant berserker hero. I dig it. So he has unrivaled lethality, double all damage Wolverine would deal. Oh,
Cool.
Just straight up.
yeah. So if you give him a pinging ability, then he's throwing shocks around, as long as it's him dealing the damage. You know, that sort of thing. That's neat. Moving on, he says at the beginning of each end step, if Wolverine dealt damage to another creature this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on him. Huh.
Awesome.
And of course, for one and a green, regenerate Wolverine.
Of course.
Because healing factor, if they didn't find a way to put the healing factor on the card, what are we even doing here?
You're not wrong.
So that's cool, and that's his classic blue and white, blue and yellow outfit there, and you can see Sabretooth's hand in the foreground. So that's cool. So he's gunning for a Sabretooth. Then of course, Berserk gets a reprint here.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
And he's wearing the classic brown and yellow 90s, 80s and 90s, I guess, outfit. Next card is Rite of Passage. I don't remember that one. Whenever a creature you control is dealt damage, oh yeah, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it was from original Mirrodin.
I think that's maybe. And it's got Wolverine and who I assume is X-23. The flavor text says, "Nice moves, Laura." Now let's have some real fun. Danger room, remove all safety protocols. Oh. Is X23 Lara? I think that sounds right, yeah. X23 in the comics is way after my time, so that tells you how long ago it's been since I read superhero comics. Rhythm of the Wild shows Wolverine out in the woods running with wolves. Creature spells you control can't be countered. Non-token creatures you control have riot. What the hell is riot? I don't remember riot.
It was I can't remember if it was the return to Ravnica. That was the rule mechanic there.
Or the stuff leading up to
And
War of the Spark.
So it either enters with it enters with the +1/+1 counter, or it has haste.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay,
yeah,
we got confirmation in the chat.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Now I remember that. It's a little strange.
Not to be confused with a Zoot Suit Riot.
Yeah. Because then you'd have to throw back a bottle of beer, and
got it.
Then the game would probably get a little weird after that. After you riot enough times. Possibly with a trip to the hospital. How many times did he riot? 12. Oh, he dead. And then finally we have Adamantium Bonding Tank, which is the classic, what we now refer to as the Weapon X look.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Ozolith. I don't remember what that does. Whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on Adamantium Bonding Tank. At the beginning of combat in your turn, if Adamantium Bonding Tank has counters on it, you may move all counters from it onto target creature. Right. So it's essentially a place to stash your counters?
Yeah.
Yes.
Huh. That's neat. So when one of your test subjects dies, because they don't have a healing factor, then you just save that adamantium to put on the next subject. I get it. Well, I gotta say, Wolverine himself is terrifying, but his spells are just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Fair.
Rite of passage. You throw Wolverine into combat a few times with a rite of passage out, and that's going to be awful for your opponent.
Yeah. And Berserk, his damage is already getting doubled, and he can regenerate himself.
Yeah. I just realized he's coming out of a sentinel's mouth in Berserk. Holy crap, dude.
That's cool.
So either he went in through the back of the head, or he went in through the mouth and messed stuff up, and then he's climbing out afterwards. That's awesome.
I like it.
All right, then. So that's the first look at the Marvel stuff. These are all just secret lair drops. Apparently, they're doing something Spider-Man-y that's going to come out next year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the Spider-Man thing is. I don't know if it's another big set or Commander thing. I don't know. I think the big Universes Beyond thing we're getting next year is Final Fantasy. So I assume
and we haven't seen any of it yet, I don't think. So.
No. So I assume that the first Marvel thing will be something smaller. And it's going to be Spider-Man-y.
So it sounds like it'll be the different ones from across the Spider-Verse. Not just Spider-Man, but like Spider-Pig.
I knew you were going to say Spider-Ham. Spider-Ham.
You know Spider-Ham's real name?
Peter Porker?
It is Peter Porker.
Yeah.
Good job. Oh, I love you guys.
If we get Spider-Punk, I'll be happy.
Yeah, Spider-Punk was a real surprise from no, what was the second? Across the Spider-Verse. I appreciated that character.
The Greensboro Symphony, I think, is doing a thing where they put up the movie on a screen and you sit down and you watch it and the symphony plays the soundtrack for it, which sounds awesome. They did it for the first film, now they're doing it for this one. They've also done it for some of the Harry Potter films. And we looked at it, and Carrie, the ending of that movie rubbed her so the wrong way that she's like, if I want to see the movie, I'll see the movie. She really appreciates the artistic expression with the orchestra, but she wasn't inclined to go see that one because the ending threw her so badly.
Which
Like,
one was
I was a
this?
little like, huh?
Which one was this?
The Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one that doesn't have an ending, it just stops in the middle.
Yeah.
Which would have been fine if, I think. I heard that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I think it would have been fine if, we knew that going in.
Mm-hmm.
But we really didn't. So all of a sudden, is it credits? Like, excuse me?
Yeah. I
Mike,
mean,
have you still
I
not seen it?
didn't.
What? Hello?
Dirk?
Hello.
I'm here.
There we go. No, I said, Mike, have you still not seen it? And I got silence.
Oh, somehow I missed your question. No, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my God, it's on Netflix. What the hell are you doing?
He's talking to us
What?
Seen it.
at the moment.
Yeah. You dorks can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just checking.
But I say I haven't seen any of the Spider-Verse stuff.
Dirk,
Wait,
you
like
gotta.
the first one?
They're so good.
Somebody get this man a something. I don't know.
Hang on, I gotta go look up the first one. Into the Spider-Verse is currently not streaming anywhere, but you can rent it for $4 on Amazon and on all of the things. How is it not streaming anywhere? What is that about?
Occasionally it happens.
And Across the Spider-Verse is, still on Netflix. I'm gonna need y'all to get on that. That stuff is amazing. Anyway, right. That took an hour. I did not expect that to take an hour.
Huh.
We ramble.
Yeah,
I mean, it is.
as we do.
It is what we do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we
Let's
go
see.
into the next thing we had planned?
I mean, that depends. Look at the chat,
Yes.
because you have a tendency to make these that are
Yes.
way too long. Okay. That doesn't tell me anything. But all right, let's do a Mad Lib. Brian apparently wrote a Mad Lib because every time for the last however long that I've been like, so what are we doing this week? Brian's like, we can do a Mad Lib, which means Brian has a Mad Lib he wants to do. So,
Yes. And the funny thing is, and you'll get, well, you know what? I'm not even gonna go into it. We're just gonna go ahead and get this started. I'm gonna mostly be looking at the guys to fill these in, but anybody here in chat, I know Chifuji's here, Jay Spencer, but every now and then, if you guys want to give a suggestion, I'll try to throw one out there and give it just a second because obviously there's the delay. And Just shout out the first thing you think of that meets the definition. So, tell you what, let's go ahead and get this started. I'm going to ask for a step or phase of the turn from chat.
Yeah.
And while chat is working on that, for the dorks, I would like a sorcery.
Is Berserk a sorcery? I just closed it.
I think it's an instant.
Oh no, I didn't close it. No, Berserk's an instant. Boo. Okay, Ice Storm. Ha!
All right. Ice Storm. And then for the step or phase,
Nobody said anything
chat.
yet. So keep going.
Nobody said anything. All right. Wild chat is still working on that. Hey, from the dorks, I need an instant.
Oh, it's too bad Berserk's a sorcery. Wait.
Manamorphose.
Mana.
Do you mean Aurora Borealis? Also, we didn't even talk about how stupid that card name is.
No, I think we just kind of left it alone. Chat says the untap phase.
Is that a phase?
It's a step.
Ha! In your face. Twitch
Untap
chat.
step. Okay. All right. Twitch chat, I'm going to send this over to you.
God.
I need a white enchantment.
Mm.
For the dorks, I need beginning phase. From chat, I need a white enchantment. From the dorks, I need any enchantment. Chat has already given me Smothering Tide. Had that ready to go.
That's awful. Just
Sorry,
the name.
which one was which? Which was any?
Any enchantment
I
was
need
us.
any enchantment from you guys.
Okay.
Primal Vigor.
What's that?
Primal Vigor.
Primal Vigor. And then dorks, why don't you go ahead? Dorks, why don't you go ahead and give me a land?
Forgotten Cave.
Ooh, that's a good one. I hate when I forget about a cave.
From the dorks, I'm gonna need a step or phase of the turn, and while they're giving that to me, chat, I would like a keyword or ability word. Dorks, a step or phase of the turn. What's that?
I'm gonna go with Mike's turn.
Mike.
Brian's gonna come through the internet and punch you in the face.
That will never get old.
Never.
Declare blockers.
Declare blocker
That's
step.
Terrible. Mm-hmm. Chat said riot in all caps, which seems pretty good.
Blockers step riot.
Let's start a riot. Sorry.
Give me chat. Give me a creature, any creature. Dorks, give me an aura.
Arcane Teachings. That's the one that's +2/+2 in a ping, right?
Yeah.
Sounds right. Yes.
Yeah.
So you can put it on Wolverine.
I can't remember if the Arcane Teachings does the damage or the creature.
And then chat has Raging Goblin. Is that the one where the flavor text is like he raged against this and that and the other? Mostly he just raged.
Yes.
Yeah. Arcane Teachings does give the creature the ability. Nice. I feel like there's something that says the aura or the equipment or something deals the damage, but I could be misremembering.
Does Fire Whip work that way?
Oh, I think that might be it.
All right. While Mike is
Nope.
thinking about fire whipping, I'm going to ask
Fire
the.
whip does the damage when you sacrifice it, but the creature does the damage otherwise. Sorry, keep going.
You're good. I'm gonna ask the dorks for a super type, and I'm going to ask chat for an instant.
How many super types are there?
Hmm.
I can only think of legendary. Is that a super type? I don't even remember how this game works.
Yeah, legendary is super types, and basic and world are the other super types.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about world. Because why wouldn't you?
Ongoing might also be a super type. I don't remember.
Now
So
you're
are
just
you
making
saying?
stuff up.
Are you saying
Legendary is what we're
legendary?
going with.
Okay. All right. So legendary for super type. Chat. I need an instant.
It looks like it's just Chifuji playing, so.
It looks like it's just Chifuji. So Chifuji,
Yeah,
I
so
need
you
an
might,
instant.
I was gonna say you might as well address him by his name.
Sure. And then while Chifuji is working on that, or if somebody else is listening, uh, dorks, I need a land.
Volrath's
Go ahead.
Stronghold? Is that. That one's
Yeah,
the land,
Vol-
right?
Yep.
that's the land. Yeah.
Blackest
Yeah.
land we've ever seen.
What's the. Doesn't Volrath have a something that's like an enchantment?
Dungeon.
Yeah.
Okay, so Volrath Stronghold for the land.
Yeah.
Um,
Keep going.
yes. I need the name dorks. Chat gives us remand for the instant.
Hmm.
Dorks, I need the name of a CCG or TCG, trading card game or collectible card game. While they're thinking about what that might be,
Do those
hey,
exist?
chat, I need a blue sorcery.
Ooh,
So,
Vampire: The Eternal Struggle.
aw.
you want me to write as many words as possible.
Hey, you're the one that asked for the dumbass prompt, so
Yeah, I
it's all
know.
your fault.
All right, so, right. Still waiting for a blue sorcery. I need a Dorks. It could be Dirk, maybe. Give me a blue. So no, sorry, that's them. Legendary creature. Give me a legendary creature.
Captain America First Avenger?
Nailed it.
Just to keep making Brian have to type lots of words. Except he's not typing. He's analog like that.
Yeah, I print these out. Um, all right, we got bribery. For the blue sorcery.
That's terrible.
All right. Chat. Give me a legendary artifact. And dorks, give me an instant or enchantment.
I'm sorry, what?
An instant or enchantment.
That's weird.
Heroic intervention.
There we go.
That
It's either the best thing ever or the worst thing ever.
it's like you're looking over my shoulder for some of these. Um, let's see. Since the dorks gave me a legendary creature last time, I need a legendary creature from chat, and from the dorks, I need a legendary land. That's not Volrath Stronghold.
was gonna say I just gave you a legendary land. Why are you a pain?
I know. You went extra like that. So again, chat legendary creature. Dork's legendary land.
I literally can't think of it.
Pendlehaven.
What was
Say
that?
that again, Mike.
Pendlehaven.
Pendlehaven.
Oof.
Is that the one that bounces other legendaries?
No, that's Caracas.
Okay.
Pendlehaven is the green one that gives a 1/1 creature +1/+2.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. Still waiting on chat. That's fine. Dorks, give me a planeswalker. You know some of those.
Evidence of that.
You. Because in all the marketing stuff back in the day, it was you are a planeswalker.
I knew you were gonna. I knew that's where you're going with it. But go ahead and give me one that actually has been printed as a planeswalker.
Fine.
How about
'Cause I haven't been
Durati
printed.
Ingenious Iconoclast?
Okay, what?
Iconoclast.
I missed the first word.
Durati.
Durati?
Who the hell?
Duretti?
Spell the first word.
It's Duretti.
Daretti.
Duretti something iconoclast? What? Duretti
Ingenious.
iconoclast.
There you go.
And
I don't think
from
any of these are
chat-
real words.
Right? Chat gives us Dragon Lord Ojutai.
Piccolo has a blue thing going on.
Yeah.
Piccolo,
All right. Chat.
I will boot you. I mean, what?
Chat, give me an incarceration. That's my normal job coming through. Give me an incarnation, a creature that is an incarnation, and Dorks, give me a creature type.
Berserker. My love for you is like a truck. Berserker. Would you like
Okay.
me to finish this sentence? I will not.
All right. Chat gives us Wonder. Chifuji says Wonder, and then Piccolo comes up immediately asks, "What's the blue incarnation?" Which is, in fact,
Awesome.
Wonder. So, all right. Chat, give me a red or black sorcery. It can be both. It can be either. And Dorks, give me a female planeswalker. Sorry, Piccolo.
The Wanderer? Was the Wanderer female?
Sure. Yeah,
I don't think so.
I think they have presented as a female. So
Whoops, I muted myself. Yes, the Wanderer. Yes, is. Remember, she's the Emperor.
yes. So still waiting for a red or black sorcery, but we're gonna keep moving. We're getting toward the end here. Is Suffocating Blast a sorcery?
Isn't Suffocating Blast a counterspell? Or is that something else? Suffocating Blast is a counterspell, so no, that's an instant.
Can't be. Instant sorcery speed counterspell is super niche. So, chat's still working on that. Hey guys, give me a legendary land that's not Pendlehaven or Volrath Stronghold.
You go to hell.
Hell is in fact a legendary land, I'm sure. You don't want more than one of those on the battlefield.
In the afterlife, you got me headed for some serious strife.
Since it came up earlier, Caracas.
Hey, I remember that.
Caracas. Give me a creature type. All right, give me an
That makes sense.
instant.
I thought you said this wasn't long.
Yeah, it is relatively short compared to a lot of the ones that I've done.
Oh my
We
god.
have instant, and then we have 5 left after that.
Jesus Christ. Okay, let's rapid fire this.
Okay.
Boing.
What was
All
that?
right. So, chat says, "Behold the beyond" for the
Oh my god.
red or black sorcery.
Boing is from Unfinity. I'll move
You're
on.
Boing. So you're using Boing. You know what? I'll take it.
I mean,
All
it's a
right.
magic
Rapid
card.
fire. Dorks, give me an incarnation.
Filth.
Filth.
Naturally.
That is okay. Give me an artifact.
Phyrexian Hulk.
All right. Give me a super type that's not legendary.
Common. Or basic.
There you go.
Basic. Give me a sorcery that has the epic ability. The name of a sorcery that has the epic ability.
And ask chat for the next one.
And chat, I need any card at all. Any card.
Enduring Ideal.
Sure.
I could
that
not
right?
remember
That's the right one.
a single one of those.
So now, chat, for the very last one, we just need any card at all, and then we are done.
You're killing me, chat.
Land of
Llanowar
our
Elves.
elves,
Nailed it.
taking it back. So, I came up with the idea for this one a while ago. And then Chewie told us what we'd be doing tonight. So, this is a comics lib.
Oh Lord.
So, some of these are going to be very appropriate. Have you heard? It's finally here. After waiting over 10 untapped steps, the long-awaited crossover has actually ice stormed. I remember how manamorphosed I was when I first heard the unbelievable news. Who would have smothering tithed that infamous print rivals Primal Vigor Comics and Forgotten Cave Graphics would actually put aside declare blockers steps of intense rioting competition to bring the Raging Goblins what they've always arcaned teaching. The most legendary collaboration of all time. I know I didn't.
I'm pretty sure Forgotten Cave
So,
Comics was a thing, or graphics was a thing.
really?
We chose wisely.
So, how did the writers manage to remand their separate Volras strongholds to allow for this crossover event? One word. Vampire the Eternal Struggle. Not
1,
true.
2, 3.
Here's what we bribery about the story so far. Primal Vigor Comics' biggest antagonist, Captain America the First Avenger, has managed to acquire all 8 Ozoliths. But thanks to the heroic intervention of our hero, Dragon Lord Ojitai, they didn't open a path to the Pendlehaven Zone, but instead tore a hole into the Forgotten Cave graphics universe. Of course, this catches the attention of their own infamous villain, Doretti, ingenious iconoclast. The two baddies then team up. Their first act of wonder is, shockingly, to kill off longtime fan favorite hero, Berserker Man.
No.
Berserker, man.
Behold the beyonded by this loss, his wife, the Wanderer, dons the Caracas of her late husband and becomes the fearsome noble woman. That's where the story, as we boing it ends. But I'm sure it will only get more filthy.
If we boing, that's gonna be filthy.
So don't
Oh
wait.
yeah.
pick up the first Phyrexian Hulk of this legendary mini-series entitled Basic of the Enduring Ideal Ultimate Llanowar Elves. Yeah, a normal one would have been like I would have had like at least 5 more inserts and taken way too long.
Rest in peace,
That was
Berserker
great.
Man. Wasn't Berserker Man one of the later game Mega Man Robot Masters?
That would not have surprised me. They had Tomahawk Man for pity's sake. So
And Fan Man.
they had Fan Man for real.
Pretty sure there was.
I mean, I know
there
they
wasn't
had
a Fan
Airman.
Man.
Yeah, good job. The heroic intervention was entirely too on point, and I knew that their filth might come up at some point, but I thought maybe you would use it first, and the chat used wonder, so then, yeah, yeah. Be sure to pick up Basic of the Enduring Ideal Ultimate Llanowar Elves. There's a colon in there too.
What's that?
So.
Wait, is that the storyline or is that the name of the comic? What is it?
That's the mini series story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the
Berserker
Wanderer becomes Noblewoman. I kind of, with the creature types, I thought maybe you guys would go with, I don't know, Beast or Goblin or ones, and you didn't. You went with Berserker and Noble. So how very classist of you. Classy, maybe? Go with a K. And with the CCG TCG name, I was almost sure somebody would just say magic and get it done. So it was like one word, magic or Magic the Gathering. But yeah, one word, Vampire the Eternal Struggle. Wah, wah.
I was gonna say Illuminati, but I couldn't remember if that was the name of the game or not.
I have expected Dirk to say like BattleTech.
I was thinking of like Lord of the Rings, or I was about to say Pokemon, but
Decipher
One
Star
word.
Wars.
Pokemon. You know, I could see Primal Vigor Comics and Forgotten Cave Graphics both being the names of companies.
Oh yeah, straight up. I mean, forever and ever back in the day, there was Gold Key Comics. Like,
And I definitely like how Primal Vigor's comics' biggest antagonist is, in a heel turn, Captain America.
that guy sucks.
So he's actually a Nazi. So
Hail Hydra. Oh Jesus.
so
All right.
good one.
Well, that was fun.
Now
so
to something completely different.
before we lose Dirk and Brian,
Too late.
so 2 of us just recently finished playing. We're still on Mashups. 2 of us just recently finished playing Kingdom Hearts. What, 1.5 final mix or whatever the hell, the one that's on current systems.
Yeah.
Dirk and I played it on Steam. Brian played it on PlayStation.
Correct.
And Mike
Yep.
hasn't played it
PS4.
since PS2, which is the last time I played it. So yeah. I figured we would talk about King, because I said in our chat as a joke, I'm like, I mean, I could just complain about the first Kingdom Hearts for 2 hours. And Dirk was like, sounds good. And Brian goes, yeah. And I was like, that was a joke? Wasn't that a joke?
and we're like, no takes backsies.
Yeah, right? Like, oh. All right, screw it. Let's talk about Kingdom Hearts. So I just recently finished Kingdom Hearts on stream on, I guess, was it Tuesday? I think Tuesday. And we're recording this on Thursday as usual. So it's all fresh in my head. Dirk finished it not terribly long ago and just got done with Kingdom Hearts 2. And Brian played it within the last, 3 or 4 years, I think.
Well, and Sam ran through it earlier this year and is almost done with it and kind of had to put it down, but it's still pretty fresh in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm working on my crowns in 2.
Like on your teeth? Don't tell me. I haven't played 2 since it originally came out. I'll figure all that out as I go. And Chifuji said, congratulations on beating evil Lance Bass. Thank you. Thank you. I also beat, I would say evil Billy Zane, but that seems redundant. Because Billy Zane was the voice of Ansem.
Yeah.
In the first game.
Really?
And Lance Bass was Sephiroth.
I missed all of that.
Yeah, and David Boreanaz was Leon.
Leon, yeah.
Yeah.
And I forget who was the voice of Cloud, but that was another actor that we'd know, I think. Kingdom Hearts voice cast. Haha. Just load any time now. This is Japanese. I need the English. Thanks, IMDb.
That sounds like a you problem.
Lord have mercy. Okay, Haley Joel Osment was Sora.
Yeah.
David Gallagher was Riku. Oh. Do I know him? I don't know him from anything.
Who?
Never mind. Hayden Panettiere, I think is how you say her name, was Kairi. I completely missed that because Kairi's not a character in any of the games. She's just kind of there.
Yeah.
And this was prior to her being on Heroes, so...
Which is where she broke out, I think.
Yeah.
She was already on... the movie with Denzel and racism. Remember the Titans.
Oh, I was going to say Training Day, but...
The different one. But yeah, David Boreanaz was Leon. Mandy Moore was Aerith.
Mandy Moore was Aerith? Ooh.
Yeah, Cloud was Steve Burton. Oh, that's why I know him, because he voices Cloud in all of the things. Okay.
He is actually the voice.
Pretty much everything up until remake.
I was going to say, yeah, he's not listed on the remake as Cloud, but he's listed as Cloud on Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts 2, World of Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy Explorers. I don't even know what that is. Both Dissidia, all the Dissidia games, Dirge of Cerberus, Crisis Core, and Mobius Final Fantasy, and Advent Children. I wonder why he didn't get the gig for a remake. Huh.
Maybe
they wanted to go with a newer generation. You eventually just people age out of it, so they wanted to go with a new voice cast.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then Lance Bass was Sephiroth. And don't even get me started on the Disney characters. But here I go. Did you know Sean Astin was Hercules? Because I did not.
For the first one, yes, and I don't think he revoiced it after that.
Oh.
Sean Astin. Where do I know that from?
Samwise.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I didn't know a single letter of any of these facts. This is amazing.
Catherine Beaumont came back as Alice and Wendy. She was the original voices of Alice and Wendy. Jodie Benson was Ariel. Brian Blessed was Clayton. Did he play Clayton in the movie?
Sorry.
I really hope so. Pat Carroll was Ursula. Jim Cummings was Tigger and Winnie the Pooh. Like, they got actual... Gilbert Gottfried was Iago.
Yeah.
Like, they got a bunch of actual, Disney voice actors to do their character. Tress MacNeille was Daisy. And the Queen of Hearts? Was Tress MacNeille originally the Queen of Hearts? I don't remember.
Well, that was the whole thing, is they brought back a good chunk of the, like, almost everybody who originally did the voice acting in the movies.
Yeah.
They got them to come and do the voice acting for Kingdom Hearts.
James Woods has gone on record saying that he has enjoyed voicing Hades more than almost any role he's ever done, and he will literally take every opportunity. For a while, there was a collectible card game at Disney World, at the Magic Kingdom, that you could go around and like go through
Excuse me.
go for stations and that sort of stuff. And he voiced Hades for every single one of those. The man will not be stopped. So
I had no idea Chris Sarandon was the voice of Jack Skellington. Like in the game and in the movie. I had no idea.
what
Dude,
would I know him from?
he's Prince Humperdinck.
Oh,
He's been popping up in all kinds of places. Did you know he was the vampire in the original Fright Night? Because nobody told me that, or I'd have watched it a long time ago.
I think you told us that a couple weeks ago.
I think it was, the last episode probably.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So the Kingdom Hearts voice cast is just phenomenal. Even Lance Bass, who I got to listen to a lot because Sephiroth kept kicking my ass.
He does that.
Yeah. But, like, I had some issues with this game. Namely, that even though this is, like, a remaster of a remaster, they didn't actually change anything to make it a better game. It's still a PS2-ass game.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, constantly, this was always a problem. I'd be running towards an enemy. I'd be right in front of the enemy. I would hit the lock on button, and it would lock on to an enemy behind me like 4 steps away. And I'd hit my attack button and immediately swing in the wrong direction. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how the lock on works. Oh, it doesn't. Like, if I'm standing right next to a dude and I want to hit him, why are you locking me onto someone 20 feet away in the other direction? What is wrong with you, game? And it wasn't me, because it never stopped being a problem. But once I realized it was going to be a thing, like, I would just, like, feather the lock-on button until it locked onto the right enemy.
Yeah, you're not the only person to go through that.
Yeah, someone actually posted a meme in the Discord of the distracted boyfriend meme.
Mm-hmm.
That was Kingdom Hearts targeting system. And it was the girl that you're with was the not lock on, but the little cursor on the enemy that you're currently looking at. And then the lock on cursor was the other girl that Sora had turned to look at. And I was like, that's amazing. Yes. Every freaking time. I also really hated the way items work in this game, where you have to equip items onto characters for them to use them. And, like, on the one hand, I get it, because you don't want Donald and Goofy just throwing all of your healing items forever. But there had to be a better way. And they figured it out, I think, for Kingdom Hearts 2.
It was a much better system, and well, it was a lot more intuitive how you equip items to them. Yes.
You still have to have items equipped to use them.
Yeah.
But and could you put items to the shortcut, like the
Yes.
magic shortcut in one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I
I'm pretty
did
sure
not
you
know
can.
that.
Because don't you start off with a potion attached to your the
No.
hot links?
Your
I thought it
customize is
was.
empty when you start.
Hmm.
I thought it was just magic.
Maybe you can only do magic. I don't know. I thought you could. I know you can in the second one.
Yeah, I do remember that. Ooh, another thing that
much
bothered
better.
me, especially during the Sephiroth fight, was when you select... Actually, this bothered me throughout the whole thing. Is when you select an item, like you scroll down to item, You push a button. You pick which item you want to use. You push a button. Then you pick which character you want to use it on, and you push a button.
Yeah.
But
And that's important, like, when you're in Wonderland and you're like, I have to give this elixir to a flower. But in combat,
well,
it's another button press.
it is, and it's annoying, but I understand it. But for items that hit everybody, or when there's only one person in the party, you still have to select all or Sora. And that got me killed on Sephiroth multiple times when I couldn't knock him out of his, what was it called? Heartless whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Where
Descend Heartless Angel, yeah.
Yeah, where he hits you with this ability and it destroys all of your magic and all of your health, and all you can do is use an elixir. But he's also got a blade that's 50 feet long. So I would run away, go down to elixir, push the button, and Sora would throw it up in the air, and then Sephiroth would hit me and I'd die.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I used the item. I did. What? And like the third time that happened, I almost like threw my controller, because like people in the chat are like, well, when you see you're not going to be able to hit him out of it, go ahead and queue up your item. I'm like, I did.
Yeah.
Like that delay on using the item is really obnoxious. And I think Ben was in the chat and he said, Leaf Bracer, that keeps you from getting knocked out of casting heal on yourself, should have worked with items too. And I was like, that would have, yes, it should have.
Yes.
And these are all just holdovers from being a PS2 game that we have, at the time they were just annoying, but now that game design has moved past that, it sucks.
It definitely makes it feel more dated. Like the camera's one thing, you can kind of get used to that, but something like this where they didn't add any additional functionality, you're just like,
yeah. Did you guys not think that we would want a quality of life improvement or two when you did the final mix or whatever?
Well, the problem with that is when the 1.5, I think, was released in Japan, and it was still a PlayStation 2 thing.
Yeah. But
so essentially what we got was the re-released version of the Japanese version that was still a PS2, just with more stuff.
Yeah, they did. I don't remember if they did 1.5 or if they did their what was it called, remix first, but yeah, they both happened, I think, in Japan. But one of them was on a later system. I think the final mix was on a PS3, maybe.
Yeah, I know. I have the 1.5 and 2.5 on the PS3, but I don't know. The whole thing is they didn't. If you're going to go in and rechange, okay, well, this system and everything, then in essence, you've got a whole new game. And I don't think they wanted to do that. They wanted to be like, it's still the classic game. It's still the original game that everyone got into and loved and everything, or hated. But it's still the original game with more stuff.
Yeah, and
I
complained.
Attached to it now.
I complained about these things the entire time I was playing. Like, I still enjoyed the game overall, but with so many little fiddly, obnoxious things that were a problem throughout the whole game. Like Brian mentioned, the camera. The camera was mostly fine, but in a couple of rooms, the camera would be up here somewhere, and when you'd go to move it, it would like, and I'd go, oh!
Yeah.
Like, I don't get motion sick, and I could feel my stomach doing flips. I'm like, bro.
It gets stuck sometimes.
Like, you need to quit.
Honestly, one of the very first times that it ever bothered me was on the race with Riku on the beach, jumping up on the things. I felt like I could never actually get it exactly where I wanted it to go. and it's so early in the game that it can definitely make you feel like, ooh, is this gonna be the thing? And I do think most of the game is fine. It's just a couple places where you can't get a look at what you really want to see.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
And another problem that is again related to it being a PS2 game, all of the worlds are so tiny.
Yeah.
Like so tiny. Chat goes, "What's your favorite Disney World you visited?" I don't know, cuz they're all tiny and silly and just you backtrack a lot. The Deep Jungle was the worst. I despised the Deep Jungle when I first got there because you land and you do stuff and then you go forward and then more story happens and then you keep going forward and nothing else happens. I'm like, well, there's nowhere else to go. Like what? Turns out you have to go all the way back to trigger more story, and then you have to go all the way forward again, and then come back halfway and then go back the other way. And I'm like,
And the game is not very good about making it clear where you need to go next.
it is
They
not.
give you a couple things, but not enough. I'm totally with you on that one.
But for most of the places, I was easy to figure out. But the Deep Jungle, the Tarzan world,
Yeah.
just sucked. Like I actually at one point pulled up a guide and I was like, I don't understand. And I was like, oh, you have to go back to the beginning. And I'm like, why? Why didn't somebody? I got no indication that it wanted me to go all the way back to the beginning. I'm running around the end going, surely something will trigger here, right? No. But I think my favorite one was clearly Halloween Town. Like,
Halloween Town is pretty well put together, yeah.
yeah. And other than having to light the stupid platforms with a fire spell and then wait for it to come back down because as soon as you light it, it jumps up to where you can't reach it anymore. Yeah. But that's just a minor niggle, really. Like, I enjoyed the aesthetics and the music of Halloween Town and the characters and all that.
I can hear the Halloween song in my head right now.
Yeah.
Well, in the original game, that was the place where if you didn't have the red Trinity, that was the one place where you could officially not get all the Trinities.
That was the only missable Trinity in the entire game.
Yeah.
Yep.
In this version, it's been fixed.
Yeah, it's just not there.
Now it shows up where the manor used to be, I think.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, having played through the original one, I would always make a point of hitting that one just out of paranoia. And if I may chime in, that's a complaint that they do fix with some of the later games is they put you down in these Disney worlds and they're like, hey, play with Jack Skellington, play with Hercules, play with whoever, but then you're disincentivized from playing with them because you want your main characters to get experience, and you can also miss Trinities. And I know at least in 3, but I believe in 2 as well, all of your characters gain experience regardless if they're in the party or not. So that's great.
Well, they do if they're not in the party as well. I'm pretty sure in the first one.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, then that was just me being overly cautious.
You're disenfranchised from doing it, and even in the second one with the forms, you still would rather have Donald and Goofy in your party because I want to use Wisdom form or Valor form or whatnot. It's not until the third one where it's they're gonna follow you around. You still have your party of 3 plus 1 who will just tag along, and that got around that whole problem.
Yeah.
So third chime was the charm.
I know a lot of people feel like the combat in 2 was the tightest in the whole series, but there are so many quality improvements of life in 3 but I know that that's not really the focus of today's topic. But
Yeah.
I feel like there's some Kingdom Hearts 2 diehards that when 3 came out, they were like, this isn't perfect, therefore it's horrible. And I still see it as an improvement. But the difference between 1 and 2 is monumental. The difference between 2 and 3 is a lot more tweaking.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 1
But you are,
was a
yeah,
fine game. Like I didn't like it all that much, like, to play. It was fine. It was fine, back in the day. And then when 2 came out, I was like, "Holy crap, this is awesome."
Hmm.
yeah. You told me, and this was years ago, when you were playing them again or for the first time or something, you told me you were basically playing through 1 to get to 2 to kind of have the experience, but you were basically just trying to get through it.
Yeah, I can't remember if that was a replay or not. I know I played 1 again. I'm pretty sure I played 1 again before 2 came out, or
That
or
sound that
when 2 came out, but I can't remember if I
yeah,
played it before that. If that
I
makes
think
sense.
you had played it at least once because you kind of knew what to expect.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm glad one of us remembers these things.
I remember the important stuff in life, like video games and sometimes the law, mostly video games.
I do find it funny that both of our girlfriends at the time played a whole mess of Kingdom Hearts. Like
Yeah.
Lex, who did not play video games, played a metric assload of Kingdom Hearts 2, especially.
And
And
Carrie is not. I hate the double negative. She is not a gamer, but she's not an anti-gamer or anything. She grew up. She will tell you about playing Zelda as a kid at her grandma's. Her grandma thought it was great. So hey, generational bonding. But she didn't play a ton of games. But when I introduced her to Kingdom Hearts, she took to it really well.
yeah, because there was enough Disney in it for them to both to get over the video game and Final Fantasy aspects of it.
Yeah.
And
And I
I'm
learned
pretty
a
sure
lot about
Carrie
Carrie
beat
through Kingdom
Sephiroth
Hearts.
before I did.
Yeah.
Because I
And
didn't beat Sephiroth until 2 nights ago. So I never
Beat
beat
Sephiroth.
Sephiroth in the first game, I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
Carrie developed a unique strategy for beating Sephiroth. She didn't block or dodge most of his attacks. She pointed out that he was at his most vulnerable right after he hits you. So she just kind of hard mode beat him to death with a stick.
Just
It
got
was
up in his face
impressive.
and stayed there.
Yeah.
That is pretty damn funny.
Carrie's also a completionist. So by the time she fought the last boss, she had already done everything else. I do mean everything else. So the last boss was kind of a pushover, and I'm like, yeah, y- you're massively over leveled and have everything in the game. So
Yeah, that was. I wouldn't say it's a problem, but that is the thing I noticed in my playthrough. I'd done all of the synthesis grinding. Oh, synthesis grinding. In the final mix, they added these like mini bosses that popped up sometimes in one certain room on one certain world,
yeah,
and you might get an item drop from them, and that's how you that's how you synthesize all of the stuff for the achievement and whatnot, and to get all of your ultimate weapons for all the characters. And bruh, I was telling the dorks before the show that I like put on, I think 2 hour and a half YouTube videos I had in my watch later
Mhm.
back to back and hit play and just sat here and did a bunch of grinding for synthesis materials, and then I got the hiccups and got through both of those videos, and I wasn't done yet.
Yep.
Yeah, the one thing I was working on when I was playing was to get enough of the synthesis materials that in the second one you can just buy the materials.
Oh,
But you have to accumulate enough that it's now you can buy them in the shop. And that
Yeah.
way, if you're like, okay, let me synthesize something and level up your synthesis, if it's something you can just go buy the materials for, then you could just keep remaking it.
Yeah. You do have to have an excessive amount of those materials, or you're saving them up to the point that you really haven't like used them to make anything
Yeah.
yet.
My synthesis right now is 0. I haven't in Kingdom Hearts 2, I have yet to make anything, and it's purely to build up the material, and I have, I think, 10 of them that I
That
have
would
enough. But it's also I've been building them up when you're trying to level up the forms as well. So as I'm leveling up the form, just don't spend anything. Just keep grinding, keep grinding, keep grinding. So the only ones I have left to do is Limit and Final are the only ones I have to level up. And the summons.
summons for me always took longest because I would actively engage the drives. I was like, yes, but the summons I would never use until it was tournament time.
I used Simba once in Kingdom Hearts 1. I used Dumbo once, and I accidentally summoned. I used Bambi, I think, twice. No, just once. And I accidentally summoned, I think it was Mushu once, because I didn't realize I was still on the summon menu. I just didn't use the summons in the. No, it was Genie that I accidentally used once. I just didn't use the summons in Kingdom Hearts 1.
They're kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to be neat, but most of the time there's just better stuff to do.
Yeah, like hammer on the X button.
All right, so Trevor, what he has unlocked, because he has unlocked over 100 achievements. He spent almost 200 hours in Kingdom Hearts, the 1.1.5 and 2.5. He has the achievement defeating Lingering Will, defeating Sephiroth, defeat all Organization 13 replica data, satisfy every member of Mushrooms 13. He has
Now you're talking about Kingdom Hearts 2,
This is
just
2.
so we're clear. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's defeated all of the Paradox Cups.
I like the way that since I haven't played 2 since it was released, I have no idea what in the hell he's talking about. But I'll find out.
When you beat the game, you can go redo the cups, but in order to win them, you actually have to beat the limit, like you have to. There's a certain thing you have to beat, and you have to beat it within a window to actually win the cup. So it's things like you have to have X number of orbs collected, and if you don't, then you don't get the achievement. And he has all those achievements. This is why he has the gold crown.
Jesus.
Like he's unlocked just a ridiculous amount of stuff on his. I'm both proud and also very jealous of him. And he's unlocked all of the ultimate weapons too.
Hey, Mike, shut up.
I wish I had this amount of time.
Sorry, it's been a really long time since I played. I don't remember a lot of specifics about it.
Yeah, me either. The entire final, like the end of the world and the final boss, was all new to me. I'm like, I don't remember none of this.
Oh.
Like maybe a little bit? No, not even a little bit. Every single thing that happened at the end of the world, I was like, oh, that's cool. What is this? Oh. Oh. Oh.
I just remember I wasn't paying much attention to the background story, just like the immediate things that were going on. So at the end, when it's like, "Behold, Kingdom Hearts," I was like, "What?"
Yeah. I didn't read a single page of Ansem's report.
Mm.
Didn't care. Yeah. Because let's be real. I am not playing Kingdom Hearts for the story, because the story of Kingdom Hearts is freaking stupid. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Not the first game, the overall story. And the way it was revealed, the very first game in the series happens, it's like the 8th game to come out or something. Huh? And was a browser game.
Yeah. Brian gave me the rundown of the story once. It's when we were on a road trip to a Grand Prix in Atlanta, I think. So we had a bunch of time in the car, and he was able
And I
to
was like,
give me
I explained the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
in
I'm
Kingdom
not
Hearts
out to try
1,
to understand this. I'm just playing the game to be playing the game.
in Kingdom Hearts 1, it's fairly linear and fairly easy to understand. And then toward the end, they're like, hey, here's a little bit of tricksy stuff, like, again, Kingdom Hearts. But it doesn't veer too far off the beaten path. You do get a sense, Heart of All Worlds, we get it.
Yeah.
And then
Ansem has a darkness fetish.
Yeah. And then, even starting with Chain of Memories, they're like, okay, strap in, let's make it more complicated, and it just continues down that path. I don't think it's inaccessible, but there are points where it feels convoluted for the sake of being convoluted.
Which, yeah. It also kind of makes me sad that as the Kingdom Hearts games go on, they completely forget about the Final Fantasy tie-ins.
Yeah. Well, even as you go, like in Kingdom Hearts 3, like the first one, Sora is very much Mickey Mouse. He's just, instead of it being Mickey, it's a human, but he's got the oversized shoes, he's got the white gloves, he has all the hallmarks of, like, he's Mickey. By the time you get to Kingdom Hearts 3, they're more realistic, and so he loses the Mickey Mouse sort of callbacks and everything, and it's just okay. He's a normal size proportioned person.
I don't know. I mean, I love Final Fantasy. I've said that so many times. But I don't know. I feel like at the beginning of the series, it was kind of a way to introduce it and be like, "Hey, Final Fantasy fans, Square Enix fans, like here's characters you recognize." And I don't know how much they ever really felt like they were given a unique identity anyway compared to like the Disney characters. It wasn't terrible, but I don't feel like the world building was exactly the same. And even in number one, like, oh, this character's from this world, this character's from this world. The Final Fantasy characters are all from Hollow Bastion, is basically what they either say or at least imply, right? So
Or
they have a
Destiny
little,
Islands.
or Destiny Islands, yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Titus. It's never going to be
And Waka.
Titus. It's just not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Titus, like the tide, because water. Just get on board with it. Um,
And Waka the racist. Yeah. I haven't played Final Fantasy X. That's all I know about Waka, is that he's a blitzball player, he's good against flying enemies, and he's racist. So I can't wait to actually play Final Fantasy X and find out how that all fits together.
I don't know about the third one, but
yeah, I don't remember
like
that.
I don't recall that being the case with Waka. But okay.
Yeah, he despises
the Al Bhed. the
Yeah.
Al-Bhed.
Is it Yuna's people or?
Nah, well, that's Riku's.
Riku's people. Although
So yeah,
Yuna
I
is
guess his big
half, yeah.
his it's not really that. It's he despises their use of Machina. That's
Which-
really
Yeah,
the big
but
reason.
He's
he
why
definitely
racist.
ascribes it to an entire race of people. So
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is true. Okay.
I mean, he gets better by the end, but
Yeah.
Wait, her name's Riku, really?
Yeah.
yeah, that wasn't confusing at all.
Not at all.
And
Particularly
why
when
do you
Riku
think?
shows up in Final Fantasy or in Kingdom Hearts 2
But
with
keep
a
in mind, she's there.
Riku.
She's there with Yuna and Pain, so she's only ever part of the group. So, and she's in like 3 scenes. But it is kind of funny that he was never like, "I'm looking for my friend Riku," and she's like, "Oh, I'm right here. Do I know you?"
Sorry, what 1K? Chewie.com, is that you? No. Mine's with an IE. Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I'm ready to head on to bed, gentlemen.
All right. Got a final thought of any sort?
I think my one final thought. There's a game. So I've been playing the Kingdom Hearts and everything, but there's one game that came out very recently that I bought and I'm looking forward to because all I've heard is good things about, and that's MechWarrior 5 Clans. From my understanding, it picks up right as the clan invasion is happening. I won't go into any specifics because we would be here for a very long time and it would become just me monologuing. But needless to say, I'm really excited about it, not only because it's a MechWarrior game, but because it happens at a very cool pinnacle part in the BattleTech universe story. So I'm looking forward to playing it at some point. And
Oh, that just came out.
yeah, that just came out, and I also just bought it.
I see
Like,
that, yeah.
last week.
The one friend already owns this game. It came out October 16th. I'm like, oh, okay.
Hmm. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yep, that's about it for me. I'll probably still be trying to do more Kingdom Hearts stuff, but yarp. And with that, I'm off to bed, gentlemen.
Nice. Well, have a good night, Zerk.
Night.
So yeah, overall, I enjoyed, despite the many like complaints, I enjoyed the first Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, again, but I'm glad that I'm not done with it because I'm gonna try to get all of the achievements, so I have to beat it again on proud mode, which is hard mode. So that's gonna suck. I assume that's harder somehow because it's called proud mode, and I have to beat it again with a time limit and without changing my equipment. I think it's 15 hours, and I looked up how the hell do you beat this in 15 hours. I saw a bunch of people say I beat it in like 7, maybe 8. So it's easy. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Apparently you can skip Atlantica entirely. And thank goodness.
Huh.
Because Atlantica in Kingdom Hearts 2 is the devil, because it's just rhythm games. But Atlantica in Kingdom Hearts 1 is very annoying.
I would switch those because the controls in 1 are not good. They wanted
So
to make flying and the underwater section fluid and easy to move around, and they are not good. They're just not good.
What bothered
Whereas
me
the
is
rhythm game,
when you lock onto an enemy that's above you or below you and you start moving, you don't move up and down. You only move left and right. The only way to like automatically move your character towards them is to attack. And then you'll inch in that direction up or down. And I'm like, if I'm locked on, why not just have me get on the proper vertical plane or horizontal plane? Damn you.
you'd think.
Once again, something they could have fixed in one of the remasters.
Yeah. But they didn't.
But they didn't. But I just hate the rhythm games in Kingdom Hearts 2. Like, they're so pointless and awful. And the songs that aren't, you can tell the quality, because the songs that were in the movie were good songs, and then the songs that weren't, you can tell, were written by people that are not songwriters. Come swim this way, we'll laugh and we'll play now. I want to die, I want to die, I want to die.
I will say this. You don't have to do it. And every now and it's kind of like, to me, it's a little bit like the Gummy Ship, where, hey, I'm enjoying the game. I'm enjoying pressing X to attack. In this game, I get to press triangle every now and then for reaction commands. That's cool. You know what? Maybe I just want to take a second and sing Under the Sea. That's all I want. So it doesn't bother me the way that it seems to bother you.
That's fair.
But I acknowledge you are not alone in that. What's that, Mike?
I still remember one time Thomas and I were hanging out, and he was in one of the Atlantica rhythm game sections, and he had to pause the game in the middle of the song because he had to pee really bad or something, and he came back and started it back up again, and when he unpaused it, the music and the lyrics and the on-screen actions were desynced from each other somehow.
Oh no.
So he was like having to lean in really. He was like leaning forward really far, concentrating super hard on the buttons that were showing up on the screen and trying his best not to pay any attention at all to the sound. So he could finish the song.
Buh. Good to know. I'll try not to pause in the middle of a song. Because I doubt they fixed that. Because why would they? So yeah.
If I have any other.
By the way, anybody still listening? It is almost in the U.S. anyway. It is almost election time. Please vote. For the love of God, vote.
Yes. I have already voted. I participated in early voting at my voting place.
I was gonna do that today, take Renee and go vote, but she wasn't feeling well, and so we're gonna try again on her next day off.
Make sure you bring an ID, because that's a requirement now, at least in our state.
Yay, Republicans.
To try to, get as few people to be able to vote as possible.
That is the plan, yeah. Because if everybody votes, Republicans can't win. And they know it. Because their policies are massively unpopular. But don't change your policies to try to become more popular. No. Make it so that all the not white people can't vote. Great. Good job. I hate it here. Then why don't you move? Why don't you pay for it? Hypothetical person that I'm now arguing with. I can't move out of this town, much less out of this country, because I don't have any money. Yeah. Sorry, I just always love that. Well, if you don't like it here so much, why don't you move? Because I'm not rich. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's always the thing they say, as if you could just go, you know what, I'm going to move right now, and just go. It's not a thing that takes weeks and weeks of planning and lots of money. No. Just going. Shut up, hypothetical idiot. Anyway. This isn't a hypothetical idiot. This is a very real idiot.
Yeah.
You've all run into this kind of idiot, I'm sure.
Yes.
I got into an argument and blocked one on Facebook earlier today. So anyway, I just realized this was our last episode before Election Day, so for God's sake, go vote. Also, watch horror movies or something. I'm going to watch Trick or Treat on Halloween. It's going to be awesome. And if you haven't seen Trick or Treat, you should watch Trick or Treat. It's excellent. Not you guys. I know you guys won't watch Trick or Treat. I'm talking to the listeners.
We figured as much.
Yeah. It's a bit... I've only seen it the once, and I had a real life jump scare while I was watching it. So, like, just as the stuff is happening, I had a knock on my door, and I don't ever get knocks on my door, so I jumped 3 feet off the couch without using my legs. But anyway, it's a little, like, gory, but it's not like a disturbing gory, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like there's a lot of blood and a little bit of I want to say a little bit of like graphic stuff, but it's all like, I don't want to say tastefully done, but I don't do gore and it didn't bother me. So, but it's an anthology, so there's several different stories and they all intertwine as the movie goes, and it's really good. It's like my definitive Halloween movie. Piccolo said, I got a friend who lives in NC as well, and the stories of the guy running for governor in your state are hilarious. And it's sad that he can even run for office. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a self-proclaimed black Nazi. So let's vote for him. And then a crazy person who wanted to like execute Obama on pay-per-view to get some money back is running for our school, what is it, superintendent or whatever?
Yeah.
Whatever
Like
that office is called, in North Carolina. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's good too. What is wrong with this state? Mike, he's suing Louis.
Really?
Because Louis broke the story about his Mark Robinson's porn store proclivities.
That's right. You told me that, the two and two together, that he's that.
Yeah, he's the most famous ex-porn store clerk in the country, as he now puts it. And his band is Trailer Park Orchestra, and they have a music video for their song, "The Lieutenant Governor Owes Me Money." Because he's been cracking jokes for years now that the Lieutenant Governor still owes him money from when he was a porn store clerk. And somehow he did an interview with some sort of local news thing that was then picked up by the rest of the country. And then after that, the whole black Nazi thing was discovered. That had nothing to do with Louis, I don't think, but I think that story is what caused people to start looking. So, yeah, he's named in a lawsuit. He's also trying to sue CNN too for reporting the news.
Yes.
So, yeah, everything is awful all the time. So, yeah, I guess we should stop now, huh? So you guys have any... I guess that was my final thought. You guys have anything else?
Oh, I guess that is the stage of the show that we were in.
We already lost Dirk, so we should probably be wrapping it up.
Right.
Unless you had more for Kingdom Hearts,
I mean, I've always got more for Kingdom Hearts, but I think I've said what I was going to say.
Well, I meant Mike specifically, since he seemed surprised.
Oh.
No.
Okay then.
So I guess for my final thought, wow, I was doing great like 5 minutes ago, and now I'm like dropping off a bit. I've done my part. I've voted. I tried to learn as much as I can about all the candidates because, there's the big ones, but then there's people down the ticket. I will tell you, yes, everyone is focused on the executive offices, governor, president. Those are important. They're not important. Stupid double negatives. I'm bad about that today. But honestly, the executive does not have as much power as the legislative. They just don't. That's the way the system's supposed to work.
Mhm.
Generally, that is how it works. But it's a lot easier to focus on one person, one racist, not racist, things like that, versus the multitude, the actual hundreds of people in the House and the 100 people in the Senate. But that's where most of the power lies. So I would just say make sure you're doing your due diligence, make sure that you're really learning about, who these people are, what they represent, what they are willing or not willing to do for you. Keep in mind, still politicians, unfortunately, but at least take them somewhat at their word, especially if they admit to being a Nazi. Very much take them at their word. And then go out and do your part, like Chewie said. In the meantime, I guess have some fun. Don't let your entire life be doom and gloom, even if it is. Hopefully try to find some ray of sunshine somewhere.
Yeah, for God's
That's what
sake,
I got.
stop doom scrolling every once in a while.
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point where when I hit the like what horrible thing has Donald Trump done or said today, once I see that, I'm like, "Oh," and then I stop looking at Twitter.
Mhm.
I'm like, "Well, that's enough of that for me today, thanks." Praising Hitler? Oh, no, no, no. Okay, let's not look at that anymore. Thank you. I'm done. uh, anyway, how about you there, Beardy Man?
Um, Trying to think.
It's probably not a good sign.
No, I mean, yeah, I've been lightly keeping up with news here and there on the side. Um, I'm gonna also see about going to an early voting polling place um, before the window is closed, just for convenience's sake. Um, no, there's nothing substantial going on for me to talk about right now.
All right then. So, I guess that just leaves the Patreon stuff. So, hey, don't forget patreon.com/themanapool. You you know the deal by now. Let me thank our mythic lifeguards for what is today? September? Yeah, so October's not over yet. So, let me thank Kim Ho, Jake Jansons, Jason Doan, Timu Hellas Haryu, Jason Kaus, Al, Casey, Michael, Scuzzo, ALK Alters, and Andrew Odie. Yay.
Yay.
And no, Mike's not high. He's just tired.
What?
See, if you're paying
Oh,
attention to chat, you know what I was talking about. Uh,
well, I mean, now I am.
so, yeah. Up until Halloween, or until I'm done with it, I'll be playing Alien Isolation on Twitch. So come hang out there and watch me poop myself live on stream. Hopefully not literally. And I don't know what I'll start after I finish Alien Isolation. Might be Tunic. Might jump into Final Fantasy VI. Either way, it will not be Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Not yet. Gonna need some time. Oh, might be the original Dead Rising, not the remake. I knew there was something else on here I was thinking of starting. But either way, that is enough of that. So, this has been episode 709 of the Mana Pool, just a mashup of mashups, which might be the episode title. I haven't decided yet. And that's enough from us. So, thank you all so very much for joining us. And, what's a good two unrelated things mashed together that you would like to see? Like the old Penny Arcade one comes to mind, like Looney Tunes and Street Fighter.
Ice cream and potato chips.
You
Are
go to
those
hell.
two related?
You're disgusting.